It'll be the same as always. We'll be going down a few things that I've been already noticing in patterns and trends that I've been studying across, let's say, the past few weeks. The third bonus from Mello is something that I'm currently working on. Of course I am. But there are things that are running out in the background scenes that I feel like I must disclose, that I feel like I must open about, right? Because I've not been posting too many videos because too many things are going on all at once. But certainly, I have made progress on the third bonus for Mello. Don't worry, I got you, Adri. I got you. I got you. Don't worry, I got your music. The problem. So, not only did something suddenly happen to me, right? The Quit GPT movement that I promoted back in the prior video says something about where I'm at currently, right? A piece of it, piece by piece. So I posted 5 videos just within the last 2 days, right? You're like, wait, that's like how many times Viz posted back in a day. Yes, that is true. So it seemingly has found that not only Peter Thiel went to Japan to talk with the Silver Lady, which basically is Sanae Takaichi, he also wants to collect data from the Japanese people, but more directly, right? So I've heard that there could have possibly been election rigging. Election rigging happening over on the Japanese front. We have the Labor Reform and the Green Party in the equation, right? Vote Green Party. Also, quit GPT. Please do so. I'm gonna put a graphic on the screen. Editor, place it on. Editor, place a graphic showing quit GPT. A quit GPT graphic. So not only is Christine fired and she's gone, right? And Israel's still going on. It's a distraction, right? It's a distraction. The Kids Online and Digital Safety Act. It's not. There's a little more. There's a little more to that. So let me first explain what I'm going with this. This guy is just playing me audience. Okay, I'm muting this guy. So here's what I'm proposing that people do first. Because at the fundamental level, you're all being distracted. Alright? You're all being distracted. All the ones who are still consuming media to this day, like a normal person, right? Who are a hyperliner, if I must call him a hyperliner. You're not in touch. You're out of touch. As much as you hate billionaires, you are out of touch. You need to join QuitGPT. You need to talk to some people who are caring about what's going on around the world. Not only is that, the Epstein Files, the Kids Online Safety Act, the App Store Accountability Act, right? We gotta focus on those. The digital frontier is one of the last ever places that we'll ever have to be able to exude our opinion. To exude what we feel about the current government. Techno-fascism is on the rise. I know Israel war is out there, right? The Israel war is still there. Don't expect people who are funded by IPAC to say no to the Israel war. Forget about it. They're passing a sneaky techno-fascist bill under our noses. And here's why. The first explain to you where I'm going with is that the App Store Accountability Act basically says that if you want to download a game, like on your Android phone, or your iPhone, or your LG, right, or your BlackBerry, any phone device to the OS level, because they also want to add OS level surveillance. If you don't age verify, you can't install apps, you can't send messages, you can't send photos to people to the basic fundamental level. I'm seriously talking about OS level age verification, not age verification trying to play Roblox, not age verification to use YouTube, not age verification to use Signal or more different apps or whatever, right? They're talking before you even get the app in the first place, you need age verification just to download the app. This causes a large issue, right? If, say, you want to protest and you're saying you're sick and tired of your representative of the district with whatever state that you're in, right? We're focused on the United States because the United States clearly is the people leaving the impression on third world countries now. So you want to protest your representative, you say they suck, and you want to vote in some person who is smart, who is pleasant, who is really integrity. Like his integrity is great. She or he, trans, whatever, right? And you're like, I want to use this application to put my opinions and spread my message. And you want to converse with your friends. And then they pass the App Store Accountability Act, and they pass the Kids Act and the COSA Act, right? Now you need to verify your age. So you're like, okay, let's say we do something different in this scenario. What if you don't resist age verification and you said, okay, I'll verify my account, but your cousin said, I don't want to verify my account. Who cares? I don't need social media anyway. Even though that's kind of stupid, and most teenagers would never say that, right? They need to use social media. They badly need social media. So let's say they theoretically they said, I don't want to do that. So now they can't use social media, right? The App Store Accountability Act, the COSA Act, the Kids Act. It basically disables them from using social media, from using video games that are rated teenager or for mature rated adults. So that means like even your PS4, your Xbox, your other game systems like Nintendo will be affected. You can't even use your systems. You can't even download apps. You can't even make screenshots on your force, and you can't even send it to anybody because you have to verify your age in every single step of the process. So even if you verified for the application store, say you give up and you just want to verify anyway, and you trust this third world company that's very fishy, and you're like, okay, I'll do it. I'll verify my age. And then you go to the app, and now you have to verify on that app as well, and give that app your age verification data, your personal data like your ID, your email, your address, your marriage status, your immigration status, your social security number, your birth certificate information, right? They'll ask you that type of information. And you're basically trusting this unknown application, unknown bill to defend your personal data whenever you give it away for free, just like that, to this company that you don't even recognize, that you can't even name, right? So theoretically, let's say you try protesting. Now you do your age verification, and you get through that step and process of age verification, right? And then you're like, all right, I'm gonna say this X representative is bad. He's evil, bad person, hates the gays, hates climate change, right? Doesn't care about climate change. So then suddenly a data leak happens. And when a data leak happens, you're like, oh no, my data got leaked. What sort of data did you give to the company when you first age verified your account online? You gave your ID. So, for those who might not care or who might not know how an ID is usually the last everything you have of defense for verification of the ownership of your email, your account, your gaming account, your social security. Like basically, if hackers get a hold of your ID, they can they can get through to your social security data information. They can dig up your birth certificate online because if as long as they have a government ID of which state that you come from, they can look at your face. They'll know your face, your name, your legal birth name. They'll look into your ID code number. They'll get your status code. They'll get whatever state that you come from. They'll look into your zip code. Your address will be there. And then they'll use that to go into your gaming accounts, your social media accounts, your government accounts, your privacy accounts, and your merchandise and store and purchasing store history accounts data. And so they can literally hack your accounts and pose as you on the internet, take away your information, dox you, and then hold you for ransom. That is the type of scenario that we are dealing with. So as much as you want to think that a data leak won't happen, if a data leak does happen, you're actually screwed and you're done for. And even if you try to change your password, the hackers are faster. There are hackers who will hack this data, right? If they're able to hack the company in the first place, I trust me, they can hack you worse. because you're not a computer scientist. You're not somebody who studies psychology or any sort of computer scientist or computer psychology. You can't. They don't. You know any of that. You can't hack to save yourself. If you try to say I'm just gonna get a new ID, do you know how much it costs to get a new ID? And then also wait for an appointment time to get a new ID? The hackers will still have your ID. They'll hack you before you even get a new ID. You can't travel fast. And if they try to get information on your birth certificate, well, guess what? Now they can forge a new birth certificate with your very identity online and say, look, I am Visuet Perez Nicholas, and I'm 20 years old. Here's my social security number, my email, my phone number, and boom, they'll just start spamming it online and start, exposing and doxing me. They can do that, literally. So if once I give my ID and it leaks, if somebody finds it, done for. And you're like, but it could, the internet doesn't allow you to post that stuff online, right? Yeah, most of the time. And then your ID will end up on the dark web market, and people are going to be buying that information and saying, look guys, I got Visuet Perez Nicolas's ID. He lives in Florida and lives on this very address, and here his birth name, his birth certificate information, social security, emails, and multiple alternative emails, and his phone number, and the phone number he had back in 2022. So yeah, I don't think that's going to hold up and stand for very long. So if you're somebody who's not as tech savvy, when somebody does have their ID leaked and all their other information leaked with their ID, I'm afraid people who are in their 30s or 40s are most likely to be in danger because they don't care about social media as much. So if they had given their ID to the internet without questioning it, because most like older members of society don't question what their government asks them to verify with most of the time, they'll just give their ID, and whenever they get their ID leaked, guess what happens? They're never gonna know. Why? Because most older people don't check social media to see if their ID got leaked. They'll just hear, oh, there is some ID leak that happened. Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, I hope those people that got their ID leaked get help. I hope the government does, what they can to, help these people recover their personal data back and help it get it wiped off. So they're just gonna say that, right? They're just gonna say that, and then not realize that their ID got leaked in the process as well, right? And we had that recently with the ID service who collects IDs internationally. And guess what happened? Over, like, let's say a billion records were lashed. Literally a billion records online just got fully leaked. Data leak, data breach. Boom, out there in the public. They're screwed. Millions, hundreds of millions of people screwed. Screwed. Absolutely screwed. Brilliant screwed. Shrilling screwed. Absolutely unseen. So expected. And that's what we're dealing with. So QuitGPT is for AI surveillance, right? AI surveillance, AI slop, AI regulation. We need techno-fascism to stop. That Kids Act, the COSA, and the App Store Accountability Act, which are just a few because I haven't even gone into the Screen Act. The Screen Act also exists. Train Act also exists. We have to put a stop to those bills. If they pass, you are screwed. Your family is screwed. Your international friends are screwed. Your teachers are screwed. Everybody you know are screwed, right? And if they give their IDs to these companies and then some idiot hacks that database and gets your information, you're screwed. Absolutely screwed. Like you can't do anything to defend yourself. There are things called AI scrapers on the internet for a reason. As much as we build solutions to defend ourselves against hackers and fortify our cybersecurity, there are as many evolutions for malware, ransomware, and data breaches. Right? Stay safe out there. Stay informed. Join the Quit GPT movement. Put a graphic for the Quit GPT movement up here on the front. And FIs. Stop techno-fascism. Protest peacefully. Know your rights. What do you say about this? What do you say about society? Subscribe to the channel. Leave a like. And that's all I have to say. I haven't even said welcome to Off Frost Knows Works for you either. So I think I probably did, but yeah, that's all.